Good morning. This is 5th of June, so we are celebrating the Day of Environmental Protection. Let me introduce Professor Wiktoria Wyszyński-Thoresen, and we welcome you very warmly, and we are very happy that you found time to visit our university in Rzeszów, because this visit is very important for us. You are a researcher and educator. Your specialization is in curriculum development, global education, values based on education and education for sustainable development. You have written numerous articles, books, teacher training manuals, and have served as an international educational consultant. I was lucky to work under your leadership on a few educational networks. It was CCN and Pearl. So I have a question. Could you say a little more about them, about the goals?
Yes, the CCN, which was the Consumer Citizenship Network, and Pearl, which was the Partnership for Education and Research about Responsible Living, were both Erasmus networks which included many universities with teachers, representatives of different organizations, and we had 5 goals. The first one was that we wanted to advance and share knowledge, do research, and help people understand more about sustainable development. We also wanted to stimulate collaboration between people from different countries and also from different subject areas, interdisciplinary collaboration. And then we also felt the need to try and stimulate curriculum and policy development that included different dimensions, the social, the economic, the environmental, and the cultural dimensions of sustainable development. And then finally, we were also eager to help assist teachers improve the way they helped people learn about these issues and to find new ways of developing active learning. And of course, as you have spent much of your time doing here in the university here and around Poland, we have been keen on sharing information about doing this. How can we stimulate an understanding, an awareness, and an active participation in sustainable development?
And how we were effective. We wanted to be more effective in that work,
yes,
of course.
Absolutely.
Yes. You work closely with UNEP, UNESCO, and other international agencies on sustainable development. You were appointed UNESCO Chair for Education for Sustainable Lifestyle in 2014. And then you were founder of Center for Collaborative Learning for Sustainable Development. The center have been nominated for the UNESCO Haddam Prize for Teacher Development. So the next question: how do you assess the effectiveness of contemporary education, and what do you consider to be the most important in it?
That's a big question that we could spend a lot of time talking about. But I think that one of the most important things to realize is that education systems around the world are very different. But if we generalize, we can say that the focus recently has been about economic development, about market competition, about productivity. We teach students so that they can go out and help the country gain more money. However, I don't think that that is the key to education we need today. Many critics or many people who have evaluated education say that the present education does not help students learn to be creative enough, to be flexible enough, to be able to consult together enough. And these things are important. So I feel that what we need is a change in the direction of education. I wrote a book recently about this where I say we need education that helps people to wander, be open to moving around, experiencing new things, to wonder, to not take everything for granted, but to look and see, whoa, oh, how interesting, different this is, but also to care. To be interested in how the knowledge they get will help other people, not only themselves. And then also to dare, to be willing to take chances, to find solutions that are innovative and different. And I think that to do so, we need a kind of education that focuses on results about sharing and serving. You know, we don't often think about education as being something that will be for other people. We think about it for ourselves and our own progress. But we need a world where people can see everyone as one human family, where we need to share knowledge, learn from each other, and then help each other, serve each other.
Yeah, it's a very big dream to be connected in such a way.
Yes, but it's not only me. The UNESCO and other organizations have seen the need for the focus on values and these larger themes.
And they are giving the way, they are showing the way how to achieve this goal. Yeah.
Yes.
The next question, do we need the International Day of Environmental Protection? In your opinion, how closely are the celebrations of this day connected with responsible living and responsible life of each of us?
Yeah, I think it's very important. And I think it's wonderful that you're being so active here to focus on this and to bring it to the forefront. Because in the past years, the International Day of Environmental Protection, it is focused on things like food waste, on chemicals, on biodiversity. This year, it's about plastics. And plastics is one big problem. And it's a problem that affects you and me and everyone every single minute. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink. We know that of the many, many millions of tons of plastic, the microplastics, when they are in the environment, they get into us. They get into our lungs, into our heart, into our brain, into our babies in our stomachs before they're born. And we do not know the effect of all of this. We know that it does change the way people are, their hormones, other things. But one of the challenges of this day is to help get support for international laws. And this is a systemic change. Laws about how we create plastic, how we dispose of plastic, how we use them, but it's also about the individual saying when he goes to the store, do I need this plastic container? Do I want this in plastic, or can I have it in a different way? So that we both from the top down and the bottom up change the way we're living constructively so that we can remove some of the plastics and the danger plastics are for today.
Yeah, and this is the everyday decision of each of us.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Tomorrow you will present a lecture, Responsible and Sustainable Living, Research and Practice. So it is just a short opportunity to share your vast knowledge and experience with us. So the next question, how did you manage to choose the most important thoughts, messages? What do you consider the most important in current education?
It's never easy to look at the development in the world and pick out topics. But the United Nations, the OECD, the European Union, they have all agreed, the scientists as well as the politicians, that the world faces three major crises. We face a crisis that's connected to the loss of biodiversity. It's going so fast. We have a challenge with climate change. People are dying by the millions because of climate change. We also have an enormous crisis because of pollution, all kinds of pollution. And these are the three main issues that the world has to deal with. They're very big, so I try to break them down in my lecture tomorrow and show that it's urgent. I mean, we cannot wait. If we sit back and wait, then there will be no world to live in, and we will continue to die. When you compare how many people die in wars and how many people die of pollution or of climate change, you will be surprised. There are many, many more who die of these issues connected to the environment. But I believe there's one other crisis, and I think I could call it a crisis of the spirit. I think we need to focus on the ethics, the principles that lie at the basis of our wanting and our work to change society. Because if we don't learn what are the basic principles about how to listen to each other, to learn from each other, to talk to each other and consult, and how we together can find constructive solutions, then we will never get anywhere. We will continue to compete and to quarrel and to have problems. So for me, I think that is also an important aspect of learning about sustainable development, is this, call it ethical foundation that we need to see, and how that connects with all of the work we do and every decision we make in our daily life.
Yeah, it's very important, but I think that also participation in looking for the common solutions are very important too.
Yes, because if we don't have this democratic collaboration, this working together, then we will only be getting ideas from the few people on the top who are making decisions. And this is one of the reasons why the Sustainable Development Goals are so special, because they were created over a period of 10 years by people from all around the world. Experts, scientists, people who just worked down at normal, average people who gave their ideas and their experiences, and then democratically these were negotiated and achieved the Sustainable Development Goals, which are what the entire world has said we have to focus on, from peace and poverty to leaving no one behind.
Yeah. We know that active education brings much better results than its traditional forms. What main goals would you like to achieve by conducting the workshop tomorrow, Playing for the Future, Sustainable Development Games?
Well, if you have any children or grandchildren, you know that gaming is very popular, whether it's online or just at home. But games are a way of helping the learner to share what they know already, to build on the knowledge that they have in communication with the others. But it also helps to deepen their knowledge, because the games are created in a way that helps them find out other knowledge about these topics. But most of all, it helps them understand how things are interrelated. You know, things in the world today are so interconnected and interdependent. And if we think we can learn and work and function alone, we're making a terrible mistake, because I need to work with you, you need to work with others, as you have been doing, and by working together across subject fields, across backgrounds, across language differences, we learn and grow together. And this is one of the key points for this gaming, and that they should have fun, that it should be enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your visit, activities, and this interview. Your lecture will be recorded and will be presented on the university website. Thank you very much. And few words in Polish. Zapraszamy na wykład pani profesor Wiktorii Wyszyńskiej-Thoresen 6 czerwca o godzinie 10 na Wydziale Technologiczno-Przyrodniczym. Dziękujemy.